Yo, this is Metis, and you're watching the TazMania show. Big shout out to Whoo Kid. Shout out to the BTX out here in London doing the thing. Yeah.
TazMania, so you already know what it is, man. B.I.G. sounds, good music, finally.
Now watching the TazMania show. TazMania show. TazMania.
Sick, looking kinda sick. Add a little something, mix it up like this. Every day I live the basics, add a little twist. The polar boys looking kinda sick. Woo, looking kinda sick, looking kinda sick. Add a little something, mix it up like this. Every day I live the basics, add a little twist. The polar boys looking kinda sick. Yeah, looking kinda sick, looking kinda sick. Add a little something, mix it up like this.
So, this is the TazMania show. This is your girl Taz, and I'm interviewing Metis. Tell me, how did the whole concept about the Atlas mixtape come about?
Yeah. The Atlas mixtape was actually a reference to my favorite book called Atlas Shrugged, which was a book by Ayn Rand. And it's about a cat who was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders and eventually decided to shrug it off and just go for his, you know? So that's the Atlas mixtape, you know, going for it.
So I know you had a lot of struggles on your back and everything coming from Wall Street. Like, what made you leave, you know, the whole business aspect and just go straight into your love and passion for music? Yeah,
I mean, that's what it was. You know, I was in there, I was doing what I had to do, you know, for myself and my family. And, you know, everybody got to struggle. Everybody's struggle is different. But, you know, eventually, man, I just wanted to go out there and do what I love, you know. And at some point, you got to just roll the dice and you got to go all in. So, you know, when it felt like the time was right, I took the jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you leave Cali and come all the way over to London? What was it about London that brought you here?
Well, I've been moving further from the good weather ever since I was about 18.
Okay.
So I went over to the East Coast. I went to university, college on the East Coast, and I did a study abroad program in London. Okay. I came out here my first time out of the country, and I just felt it. You know, I was feeling London. I was feeling Europe. And so after I graduated back, you know, I was just like, yo, let me come out here and try to just expand my horizons and see what's good, you know, and I've been here ever since.
So how do you think the UK music scene is different between the US music scene? What's different out here about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, you know, because for me, like, I grew up on West Coast hip hop. I grew up on American hip hop. That's still what I got in my iPod mainly. But it's interesting out here, you know, there's a lot more fusions out here, you know, because they're trying to find their own sound, you know, and they've kind of finally found it, you know, with cats like Tiny Temper and cats like that. So, you know, a lot of the mix out here is a lot of house stuff, you know, influence, which we got on some of our tracks, like Champion, the single. And so, yeah, so, you know, I feel like the production over here is a little bit more experimental. It's a little bit ahead of the game. In the U.S., probably the flow is still more on point than it is in other countries and stuff, you know. So I try to take the best of both and fuse it up, you know.
How do you think people in the U.S. are do you think any UK artists can really make a big impact? I know they got Jessie J over there and everything like that, but do you think that new sound that's going on over here can really transcend to the U.S. industry when it comes to music? You
know what? I think so, man. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, the U.S. has a lot of stuff on lock, especially in the urban market, you know, in hip-hop and R&B and stuff, but you're starting to see it, man. You know, Tiny Temper's starting to get some buzz out there. Obviously, Jessie J is doing her thing. A lot of singers already been doing their thing, but I think it's going to be on that hip-hop house, you know, that hip-hop dance flavor, which you're already seeing in like Rihanna tracks, you know, Stargate from Stockholm, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff starting to go on, and yeah, man, I think the world is expanding. You know, Whoo Kid is over here. He's, you know, did a mixtape for me, but he's doing Tiny Temper's mixtape. He's doing Gigs mixtape. You know, it's already starting to happen. So whereas I think the UK was a little bit insular before, now that they found their feet and they're shipping people out, you know, I think it's going to become more a global thing, man. You know, music is music.
Yeah. Also, you know, I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I come to find out you have a novel and a movie coming out. Tell me, like, a little bit about that, because, you know, you do music, come from Wall Street, you do it all, man. So tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, you know, I love music. Music is my passion, but you know, obviously the business of music has changed. You know, the business music is all about giving away music. You know, obviously, you know, the landscape has changed a lot, and you know, I'm happy for more people to hear my music than any. You know, so I'm happy to give it away. But you know, when I was thinking about what was different for me, you know, what was true to me, and just trying to be myself, you know, talk about what I've been through. But what I've been through recently, you know, ever since I left Cali was, you know, coming into this Wall Street grind and this finance grind. And when I quit and I decided to go all in for it, I thought, you know, this is a story that hasn't really been told yet. You know, you hear the 8 Mile story, you hear the 50 Cent story, you hear the Wall Street story, but you never really hear the mix of the two, you know? So I wrote the book right away. You know, I signed the movie deal really quickly because people were kind of feeling the fact that it was a little bit new and a little bit innovative. So, you know, we signed the movie and the book even before I started really getting the music going. And now that, you know, cats like Whoo Kid are jumping on, you know, we're starting to get our stride. You know, the idea is to just, you know, put it all out there, you know, talk about what I do musically and also talk about it in the film and in the book, you know, trying to do it all.
Who's filming the film?
The film. Well, so we've signed the film to a guy named John Cavendish, who's done some big movies out here. He did like Bridget Jones and Elizabeth and Croupier, which is my favorite, you know, film that he's done. We just signed the scriptwriter recently. He's done some big things like Borat and Bruno, but he's also done some more action stuff like The Flash is coming out. He's got a couple big movies coming out too. A spinoff of The Hangover with that cat Zach from The Hangover, and you know So we got a cool squad, and once he's done with the script, you know, we'll sign it to a U.S. production company as well, because the goal is really to be global with it, you know. Yeah. So they're UK because I'm here and I found them like that, but you know, eventually, you know, we'll be shipping stuff back over to America, you know.
When can we expect that to come out?
It's a long game, man.
Long game?
Yeah, it's a long game. Like Wall Street is like, you know, you have an idea, you put the trade on, shit comes out the next day, you know, you're making money or you're losing money. This film stuff, you know, it's been an education for me, you know. So the film, if it happens fast, probably a couple years away. You know, the album probably come out at the end of the year. The book probably come out sometime next year. And so we're just rolling it, you know. We got the rights to the soundtrack. We got the rights to the score. So, you know, there's a lot of product coming out. But it's hard to call it, man. It's not all up to me. But, you know, sooner the better. Yeah.
Tell your fans one thing they may not know about you.
Yeah. One thing. Well, you know, I guess it depends on how well they know me, man. I mean, I think the thing, you know, that probably people don't know, especially probably because, you know, they're going to see the push with Champion, they're going to see the push with Whoo Kid, is that really I'm an underground hip-hop head. You know, I started with spoken word poetry. You know, the person that made me want to do music, made me want to write lyrics, was actually Saul Williams. You know, I went to a show with my boy. I saw him, and he was just so honest and so real that I try to bring it. You know, I try to bring it, you know, commercially. We like stuff that gets the club moving, it gets people dancing and stuff, but really in every track I'm telling my story, you know, and that's never going to change. And so, you know, I think, you know, there's the big hooks for people that just like to dance and don't listen, you know, but for people that want to dig down, you know, I tell the story in every song.
Okay. One last question.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the artists and producers that you've worked with so far in the industry.
Okay. Out here in the UK, you know, the cat who produced Champion is a cat named Jason Forsythe. Big up to him. You hear a lot of stuff from him. He's on The Hook. He produced the track, and we got a couple follow-up tracks that might even be singles as well, which are big, you know, keeping them under wraps. Working with a group called I Am One out in the UK, making some house stuff. You know, on the mixtape, we collaborated with Joell Ortiz. You know, we got a joint on Sophie Delila, who was on a track called The Way. And in the UK, we got a lot of producers we're working with. You know, we're doing some stuff with Soul Diggers, Kenny Dope, 88 Keys, you know, and trying to keep moving a couple more stuff in talks. You know, I'll wait until that happens. But we're just trying to get out there, man, and, you know, and get in touch with the people who are really feeling the vibe that we're on, you know.
Don't forget to mention B.O.B.
Yeah, there's a B.O.B. joint as well. Yeah, we got B.O.B. Yeah, man, it's, you know, it's funny. I mean, there's a lot of business and stuff involved with this stuff, but like, you know, creatively, especially being out here in the UK, you know, where there's a lot of fusion of a lot of different sounds, you know, I'm open to a lot of different stuff. So we got a lot of stuff in the works with a lot of different kind of people, you know, which is exciting.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tell all your fans where they can check you out online, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that.
All right, so we're just getting up on all this stuff, man. We've been in the studio. Now we're putting it out. So the Twitter is Metis Music. Metis is M-E-T-I-S. Metis Music is the Twitter. Metis Official is the website. Metis Official is the Facebook. This is the label, man. This is the self-started label called Rourke. You know what I'm saying? Rourke Entertainment. And yeah, you can catch me in all those spots, man. Whoo Kid is tweeting it out. I'm tweeting it out. So come along, follow it, man, and, you know, and get down.
Okay, man. I wish you much success. And this is brought to you live from the TazMania show. Metis, thank you so much, man.
Yo, thanks for coming out. Right. Yeah. Peace, y'all.